Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Radiant team ban. Dire team pick.
Warlock.
Radiant team pick.
Crystal Maiden.
Radiant team pick.
I'm doing fantastic. I got my morning essentials, got my Red Bull, got my nicotine, we're in good shape. Just to clarify, Liquipedia shows Navi C9 is the second series today. Is that incorrect? Because that would be the losers bracket game in the B division.
Dire team.
Life Stealer.
Radiant team ban.
All right, I'll talk about the draft here a little bit while you take a look. So,
Ten seconds remaining.
no, yeah, it's fine. So, I want to point out here, Empire, I'm assuming, watched yesterday's games. Clockwork Snap first ban.
Reserve time.
And just went off both games. Extreme great excellence on the hero, very well played. The Slaughter ban is interesting though. We've seen this almost entirely fall out of favor, and it's funny to see them ban it out when they're going to first phase the Lifestealer pick here. We don't see Slaughter picked up that often anymore. It's one of the best delivery vehicles for the Lifestealer, and if you're going to pick the LS in the first round, usually that means that you could have kind of forced the ban out of ProDotA in the second phase.
Dire team ban. Radiant team ban.
Yeah. It's just kind of weird though, because like I think Slaughter is one of the best, if not the best, pairing for a Warlock. It's like that and Earth Spirit are kind of the two big ones that come to mind as just being really great follow up to the Chaotic Offering, or even like a pre-stun so you can get the bonds off before you drop the rock. And yeah, just a little odd to see that there. We do see the LC banned by ProDotA. I strongly agree with this. I think that is the strongest offlaner right now to deliver a Lifestealer. You just blink in, duel someone, Lifestealer pops out, and you 3-shot them and move on with your day. It's really potent. So that'll be pulled out of the pool. This Batrider we've been seeing coming back into favor a little bit, but it's kind of been a mixed success. We've seen some look pretty nice, but for the majority of them, we're not seeing that lane bully bat like we used to, where it'd 2v1 and just destroy his own offlane consistently. Mm. If they were recently in a tag team, there's like a 2-week holding
Radiant
period before you
team
can
pick.
strip and retag. So if he was in another team or signed up with a friend or something like that, you can't
Dire
officially
team
just change your tag every day or two. Now, I want to say I think the Batrider kind of came back in because of the Tranquil's boots change. Once they took Ring of Protection out and made it a windlace instead, he loses less move speed when Tranquils are broken, and a Batrider getting move speed is kind of how his early game
10
works.
seconds
If you're ahead of the enemy in move speed, then all of a sudden Firefly becomes this hell to deal with.
5
Give a couple
seconds
napalm
remaining.
stacks, you can't ever right click him, and he's just running circles around you. He can just destroy. I mean, we've seen
Reserve
Batriders
time.
1v3 before. So I think that's the theory. Mm-hmm.
Earth Spirit.
Radiant team pick.
Yeah, it was definitely a buff to supports as a whole, but it was a nerf to most offlaners. They're really missing not having the armor tied into Tranquil boots. It was a nice little survivability buff for them. Empire, though, just going right down the
10
line with what I
seconds
said.
remaining.
All right, you banned out Slaughter, you're grabbing Earth Spirit. That's your next pickup for the Lifestealer.
5
It's a great
seconds
combo with the
remaining.
Warlock. It's a really solid pickup here from them. But the offlane pool has been
Reserve time.
pinched substantially. No Clock, no Slardar, no Magnus, LC, Nyx. Like, so many offlaners gone already that you're starting to dig into the trenches. I mean, there's Puck, maybe, Centaur, maybe. But we're kind of running out of options here. Yeah. You got to remember, before people even started going Eggs, Centaur was a first pick first ban. Before Eggs was even picked up on him, so... Alright, so this out of ProDotA here. They're grabbing the Invoker. I have said a lot of times I'm a little bit hesitant of doing this when your offlaner's not a right clicker. When he has no scaling potential, I feel like Invoker can really fall flat on his face. It's not the strongest right clicker no matter how far into the game you get. He basically gets a ton of levels and with that a ton of utility,
5 seconds
but
remaining.
not necessarily the most damage. And BKB becomes incredibly viable
Reserve
against
time.
a Batrider Invoker combo then, because you're dealing with a ton of magic damage and not that much physical. And, I mean, Lifestealer has a built-in BKB already with Rage. So I think ProDotA is going to be looking for a very hyper carry. The TB ban was good foresight here out of Empire.
10
Probably looking to
seconds
ban maybe a
remaining.
Spectre would probably be the next one that would come to mind. Especially
5
with the global
seconds
presence
remaining.
already of Spirit Breaker and Sunstrike.
Imba Spirit.
Radiant team ban. Dire team ban.
See, I'm not sure if Empire's played around with this for a while, but for a long period of time when Batrider was hyper meta,
10
some teams would
seconds
run
remaining.
2 carry lineups with their off lane and their safe lane, and they'd throw the Lifestealer solo
5
against
seconds
Batrider.
remaining.
I mean, it is a thrashing. The Lifestealer just handles Batrider.
Dire team pick.
So we could see something like a Jug being picked up for Empire here. It would give a ton of flexibility to the Earth Spirit, because Lifestealer and Jug both very effective heroes to gank for. All you gotta do is roll in, beat on somebody a couple times, and the carry finishes them off. But
10
if we're looking more
seconds
traditional,
remaining.
I mean, yeah, still looking Centaurs, Pucks,
5 seconds
Darkseers,
remaining.
still... Oh no, that was banned out here just now from ProDotA.
Night Stalker.
Interesting.
Radiant team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Yep. Before he was a 4, he was an off lane. The one thing I really do like for him here, Crippling Fear, when you're only running 1 carry, is so absurd. Like that, mischance is 50% during nighttime. So if PD only has 1 right clicker here, all you gotta do is throw that Crippling Fear on them, mitigate so much of the damage output, and in reality, you're looking pretty good. So I don't mind the pickup here at all from Empire, provided he actually gets a decent start. I think it's a little too risky. So Lifestealer are already a pretty decent answer to that lane. Can rage out a Frostbite and then takes no damage on spin. So in reality, it's hard to find a kill there, and very easy that if the Earth Spirit gets on the CM for that to go very poorly for you if you're PD. So don't think you look to aggro tri-lane. You just want to make sure you push the Night Stalker out, not give him any levels, any experience. Basically, a Night Stalker's whole goal is he wants to be level 3 or 4 by first night at 4 minutes. And then he's either going to use that to jungle heavy, and then by 8 minutes when second night comes around, he's going to do a lot around the map, or he's going to just go gank right away. So if they can keep him off that level 3 or 4 mark by 4 minutes, they'll be in good shape. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, and it's actually 12 minutes where second night cycles around. But we did see some Night Stalkers when it was being ran even as a 4, they'd spend the whole first night jungling, using the extra attack speed, just to grind out a Midas. Basically, they'd come out of first night with basically a whole Midas done. And then use that to leverage into their Ags, into their gem, and then go from there. So I'm curious to see what Empire does with this here. It's definitely not a common pickup. I'm scouting the smoke out here, but the smoke was so fast it gave no info on the lane structure, who got what items. Yeah, I love the 0-minute meta. It's always so interesting to see what teams do. Ooh. Ooh, if this lane slip is what I think it is, this could get really interesting. If they end up posting this Warlock bottom with the Night Stalker, we've seen dual offlanes a lot with a Warlock. This is gonna leave Chappie in the 1v1 against the Batrider. A lane that Lifestealer is only gonna struggle for the first 2 levels. After that, it starts swinging heavily in his favor if he's not down too much. So I like this potential laning setup here from Empire. It could really press an advantage.
The battle begins.
I'll take that as chance good given.
Yeah, and Lifestealer with the reaction item pickup right away. Once lanes are scouted, grabs a magic stick with the gold that he was banking. And honestly, this is the best case scenario for Lifestealer. He's going to get the first entire wave for free because Bat's scared there's a tri-lane up here. Yeah. The one thing to watch here is going to be 2 minutes in, and see if Earth Spirit rotates to the bottom Radiant Rune, or their bounty rune, because CM might be going for it right at 2 minutes, and if she does, it's an easy place for them to go ahead and find a pick. Going heavy on Kaiser here though in the mid lane.
Return to ultimate order. First blood! As indeed I am first in everything.
Yeah, Earth Spirit maybe had that first blood too. He hesitated when he saw the Spirit Breaker TP and didn't roll in right on cooldown, but going straight on the Bat Rider top. Good TP out from 3-3 though. Oh yeah.
Regeneration!
Nice stop. Yeah, they really just want to make sure this Night Stalker has something going into first night. And it kind of ruined the whole setup. I really do think they were going to go with what I was saying at the 2-minute mark, rotate Earth Spirit bot, try to grab a support in the jungle, but that all went to hell as soon as the kind of the disaster in mid lane happened. Yeah, and that's just... Alacrity costs too much mana now at level 1. It used to be a lot cheaper, so you could just get a quick point in Wex, spam Alacrity, get a good CS lead.
No.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely the situation you want if you're 3-3. You're avoiding the bad matchup right now.
Juggernaut, let them feel the cool of your blade.
Juggernaut! Honor for you.
Yeah, that is going to mean he's level 3 going into first night here. He's got his boots. This is the danger point. This is when he could look to make a play.
It's not the bet you gotta worry about. Seeds, fruit. Sustains.
Yeah, he hasn't done anything with it yet. He was hoping to find CM jungling a camp, but alas, not going to be able to do that. And unless he gets an assist on mid here or something, really low impact for the first little bit in nighttime here. Early game TP is so good. FN, it's interesting to look at this here. In mid lane, he is so scared of getting charged by Spirit Breaker, he took a point in Slight. He can slight the Spirit Breaker right as the charge comes in. Here, we're gonna see him try it now. Yeah, basically stops the charge. And it's just unfortunate if you have to do that as Ember, because it really negates your all-in potential. Every point in Searing Chains and every point in Flame Guard just so essential for you. So to be set back an entire level on that, it really hurts.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah. And they were smoked going over that ward too, so they didn't get seen at all by the ward. This is gonna... Night Stalker thinks he's safe because that ward is there. He should be caught.
Go for my master.
I didn't see anyone nearby. I think he just misplayed. He was trying to kill off the hard camp and maybe missed the Searing Chains. can't say I've ever had that happen to me.
Radiant's middle tower
Never
is
at
under
all.
attack.
Yep. Exactly. It's like all of Twitch chat. And Sunstrike was still off cooldown too, because he used the bottom on the Night Stalker, so it wasn't any extra damage there or anything like that. So, I mean, the real question is going to be, can Chappie do something here? He got his level 6 up, Ember's level 6 as well. That is a decent delivery method to get you in a fight. But FN's had to play so far in the back foot. It's going to be hard for Empire to find some traction, and they may end up having to wait until the Chaotic Offering is up. And Warlock's only level 3. That's a long ways away. It'll be useful for a while. FN almost died to neutrals again. But no, they'll still be useful. It's HP regen, which is very nice. It's half of a ring of health, basically. Just have those 2 mangoes. So it helps get you through the early game, and then he was hoping to use them in first night, right? You're running people down, you're just spamming Void, you need the mangoes. So not a huge loss that he didn't use them. He probably would have liked to, but not the end of the world by any means.
Never will you see my face.
What the hell was Maposhka doing in that? He rolled in without putting a boulder at his feet. He had 5 boulders queued up, and then he just didn't boulder smash that entire time. Like, I'm so lost. Did his keyboard break for a minute? Huh.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
That was just weird. Like, everything there was weird. But a good rotation from the Juggernaut. I've said many times, get level 6, find an Omni Slash kill, did just that. And very big kill too, getting it on the Lifestealer.
Take that as tribute.
Yeah.
Opted for a Midas.
I do apologize, guys. My mic in-game was muted, right? But it should be good now. In-game. Hello. All right, so you mentioned the Midas. Wait, who got the Midas? Yeah,
Lifestealer.
Yeah, you're always happy to see that. You always join it.
Oh, it's great. It's great, especially when you then go early game items like Armlet and Echo Saber. It's perfect. But no, I mean, we've seen a lot of people go it. Lifestealer, thankfully, it mostly faded off. Still a few people to do it, and at this point, I guess maybe his thought process is the rest of my team is so far behind, I'm not ready to go yet because they're not. So we're just gonna get a Midas, farm up a little more while they get ready. We are approaching the 10-minute mark. Warlock managed to squeeze out a level and a half in the last 2 minutes, so the book will put him at like 5.5, pretty close to Chaotic Offering. So it could look to see that online around the 11 to 11.5 minute mark.
Cool for any team with the
Radiant's
Warlock here.
bottom
Double
tower
damage
is
top
under
room.
attack.
3-3 is spending so much time trying to kill these
Dire's
ancients.
middle tower is under attack.
There's nothing else to take for him in the jungle, so he just said, I can't go to lane, I'm gonna kill this dragon.
That might be taking too long. Setting up, Knight has fallen, and 3-3's like, I want this kill though! Boulder smash on there, doesn't think Parabol's gonna miss, but it won't matter. Can he pop the Shrine? He tried to get to it, but the Searing Chain's coming into play. But here comes the TP support now, Carter. He's chasing. Omni Slash is gonna be up in a couple of seconds. That's a dead Night Stalker, no doubt. No matter how long, it's been on top, no Omni Slash needed. Now we see FN, but that Omni Slash is gonna be all on top of the Ember Spirit. He is gonna have to remnant out, and will survive. Crystal Maiden is picked off though by the Warlock, but now King R, he could be in trouble himself. No mana on Carter left, but the stun from Milan, and there's a Sunstrike to assist on top of that charge stun. Boschka, run away, and there's that boulder through.
Lots of cute mechanics there. The Warlock, if he had turned back around to try to finish the Batrider or CM, whoever he killed off, with an auto attack directly on them, would have died a lot faster. Instead, just hit somebody with Fatal Bonds. I mean, really heads up play that this is going to do enough damage. We'll just pop this auto into them and keep moving. The Ember dodge on the Omni to not die was pretty solid there as well. So, I mean, nicely played from both sides. Coming out fairly even. In the end, I think you're a little happier if your Empire doing that, though. You didn't rotate the Lifestealer in. and still came out even.
Druid, you know, he's making use of the hand of Midas. Every cooldown here, he's got that armlet now queued up and about finished here as a result of being able to sit at the top lane and continue to farm throughout all that. So that's going to be coming up and jumping inside perhaps the Night Stalker, the Earth Spirit,
is under attack.
Ember Spiriting cases throughout this game.
Yeah, it's probably still Ember for a little while, just because you can slight and then pop out during the slight, so Ember doesn't have to put himself in danger to get Lifestealer in.
Radiant's top tower.
And then you can follow it up with a Chaotic Offering, you've got your nice little team fight behind it, and a lot of this game, honestly, is going to end up on the Night Stalker, and hitting a crucial silence on somebody important, either the Bat Rider pre-lasso or the Invoker at any point.
Actually, the Spirit Breaker right here. It jumped inside Ember Spirit with the investment, obviously. All the healing ward doing work, but not enough. And now Garner, he has to keep his distance. No Omni Flash just yet. 1 more second cooldown. Blade of Fury away, and oh, he gets stopped by Meposhka, though. So he's making up from earlier with a nice bonus smash right there. The Chaotic Offering comes down as well. And now Garner finding himself in trouble. He will end up falling. The upheaval helping slow him down as well as Bat Rider. Bat Rider, the Fire Plant is going to be enough as he eventually Blink Daggers away somehow. And you get the turn kill on Ember Spirit actually due to the Sunstrike, so nice fish there for ProDotA. They want more, damn it! Goodmana gonna go in, he regrets that immediately. He gets taken out, that's... Oh wow. And there we go.
Ooh, admin's gonna be rude or not?
Oh, that's funny. Spirit Breaker charging on through. Still wants to make chaos happen, but we saw what happened to Crystal Naden when she chose to go in like she did. So. Careful though, overcommitting.
Oh, Meposhka, poor guy.
Be a secure kill. Yeah. Say GG in chat, please do it. It's a good game. That was his chance. Bond.
Yeah. There is zero excuse for a pro player having that on their chat wheel in a game. it's just not a thing. But yeah, whatever. It happens. Chaotic fight. Back and forth on both sides. And in reality, not really a huge winner here unless PD can manage to swing a tower out of this. They're going to put a ton of pressure on the spot lane tower, so I would not be surprised to see it go down. Good smoke here off on the side just to cover Garter hitting this.
No defense being put up whatsoever, and it seems they tried to defend right here. They might get caught doing so, so maybe it's a special for them if they're not, but didn't we see this? Was it yesterday? Crystal Maiden again going no Crystal Nova here. Game. I don't know if that might have been the first series that you were casting with me, but we saw it yesterday somebody doing it.
Yeah, it wasn't any of them I was in.
You know what now?
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Player, so maybe it is just kind of a player preference here.
Well, and in this kind of a game, any time you can extend the route, it makes it so Ember has a more difficult time getting out. So probably the main reason for that in this game. Look at where Ember is. He's got Lifestealer inside of him between the two towers. FN wants someone so bad right now.
The idea, they do have bots here on Ember's top lane. Not find anyone though. The minimap not going to be the case, so Lifestealer tired of sitting there out and thumping now. Throws it on the other side of the map, as you can see. The Axe being worked on in Invoker, and it is just about finished now. He's great use of that in Midas, and he's up there with the Lifestealer actually.
Yeah, this is a disgusting farm speed on the Invoker. And on the Night Stalker, honestly. If you look at NS, his Midas is done. Bat Rider is ahead of him, yes, but Bat Rider farms so much better.
Jeez. Gonna help Bat Rider too. Lasso initiation onto Spirit, and deep catch there. We've seen the Blink Dagger on him for a while now.
Dire's bottom tower
4-step unit. The items to be had there.
Yeah, so they're at the point they want to be a 4-man unit. They want to roam around and let Garter just rice farm, get to 3-4 items. At the very least, get to Manta Diffusal Blink. That's kind of the 3-item core lately we've seen as the flavor of the month on Jug. Ooh, is Chappie gonna get this before he gets gone on?
He has the race. He's gonna use
nice.
Infest actually at the last second as they're charging in. Infest their own creep, so yeah.
Oh, he's in the front creep. Oh no, he's in the back one. He's okay. He's in the back one.
Awkward, is he though?
No one's rotating for him. What? Okay.
Yeah, no support's coming in and.
Ooh, is he gonna get bashed out of the Sunstrike? I mean, he's dead either way, but
yeah,
he's still moving from the bash.
It looks like, unless it depends on what direction he goes here.
He's going top left, so I mean he's right at the edge already. He's gonna go a little further. It's gonna be close. Garter has Omni Slash though, so there's no way he gets out either way. I mean, in theory, Jug's attack speed is slow enough. If he can get some distance, could armlet toggle between Omni Slashes? It's hard, but it's possible. Because look, with the armlet on, he has 15 armor. That's a ton this early in the game, and Jug's basically going to be doing 250 a tick every half second or so, quarter second to half second. I mean, it's not going to happen. This is all hope and pray type stuff, but it would be cool. I don't know why Night Stalker's still going. This is way too late.
And they're heading over now, but I think, if anything, this pause is going to let them fall back. You mentioned Night Stalker. Speaking of him, though, the Hannah Midas onto him. He has the Erd up here. It's like, yeah, he's doing all right with this farm.
Yeah, I'd like to see him not grab the urn. Let Earth Spirit get it. It's cheap. Earth Spirit can build it up in small increments, and you can just go straight Ags. You need to get the Ags gem up online. That's crucial in controlling vision. Seeing Bat Rider coming at you, you start seeing Spirit Breaker from a distance that you can actually stop. So that'd be what I'd like to see, rather than taking essentially a whole piece of Ags to go and earn.
Yeah, I was actually confirming here while we're in this pause that, by the way, how do you say Crystal Maiden's name? Is it never really...
Riley?
It's like supposed to be... What?
I'm just being cheeky. It's the old Dota one.
I feel like it's supposed to be Jamia? Supposed to be Lisa.
Sure.
James? I almost just want to say James. Anyways, whoever that is. That's so bad though. So easily. Yeah, no, but again, I was checking yesterday games, and it was ProDotA actually in the first series against Mouseboard. Their game 2 actually. Yeah, he did the same thing there. He actually didn't get the Crystal Field or Crystal Nova, excuse me, until level 8 even.
Was there an Ember against them?
There was not an Ember, it was a Puck, Slark.
Okay, that
or Shaker.
Wow, I should know this mechanic. I'm fairly certain Puck can't jaunt to an orb. He can cast it, and he can phase shift, but he can't jaunt during it. Can he?
Like Overgrowth, where he actually still ports with the... I think. So one of us is going to be called out like 5 minutes from now. He's wrong. Shappy, guess what?
Really?
No Omni Slash. Coming in.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, top tower push now. Oh, Fiber really up here, actually. Yeah, they're gonna evade.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You can't phase shift while you're rooted. That's what it is.
Okay.
I know the phase shift change, or the root interaction change is fairly recent, TI-ish last year. I think it was the post-patch.
Dire's top tower
So still a lot of new interactions there. But yeah, can't phase shift, which means he's a lot more vulnerable during the root.
As the analyst on the broadcast, you should know every single mechanic.
You know,
And
some parts of adulting are admitting when you're wrong and then looking it up.
guys, I'm looking for a new analyst for now.
Ouch. Ouch. Alright, one thing I do want to point out, because I've seen this all 3 games now that we've seen Empire. Whether they win or lose, Miposhka is always the sacrificial lamb. At times it can look brilliant, he can bait into good fights, he can set up good 1-for-1s, and at times it just looks like he's getting caught a lot. And, I mean, the guy's 8k solo MMR, he's playing the roaming role. I'm not sure whether to call this guy a genius or you know, just maybe needs to tighten his play up a little bit.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Need that solid play from him moving forward right here, because right now it's a lead here for ProDotA, about a 2,000 net worth lead overall. Top here, but the overall chart, it's always been in ProDotA's favor. Again, you look at the Invoker especially, it's going to be part of that, but Juggernaut now, Mantis style spinning.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
So he also is up.
He's accelerating so fast.
they're going to get everywhere.
This will be an eye on the mid tower. Pretty useful for Empire and just cutting some of this gold lead away. Nice. Can't quit dodging.
Another strike, but no sun strike.
That was a fun little mind game between Milan and FN there. Basically, Milan knew he was going to slight the charge, so stops the charge early and just straight nether strikes. Guarantees the connection on it, and the Sunstrike might have been... it wouldn't have been enough damage, but it would have been fairly close.
He's back, and he has an urn now, by the way, too. So speaking of just roaming hero like the Knight, doing very well. Doesn't have the Midas, but they can be pleased with his success this game.
Yeah, definitely. And going forward, this is going to be interesting because, as I said, Lifestealer is a pretty good counter to most of this PD lineup. Milan is not holding this charge, right? That would be insane. Okay. So in reality, Empire just needs to calm down. Slow the game down. You've got a Midas on your Night Stalker, which is huge. You've got a Midas on your Lifesteal, which, while I dislike it, you do get extra gold from it eventually. So just take the pace a little slower. Only take good fights with Chaotic. If one person dies, please let them die. Like, Euro Dota, we've seen so many struggles with Save Your Teammate syndrome, and Empire's not in that bad of a spot. A 2k lead at 20 minutes is not the end of the world, and I'm liking what they're doing here so far. Everyone's just kind of taking safer farm and making sure they don't die.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. This is definitely not an out-of-control game. This is, by all means, anyone's game. Any fight victory coming up will sway one team or the other, and oh, you got a Warlock Golem, has the bigger strong fight abilities, team fight abilities, game even, so they still are very satisfied with that. Like you said, the idea of them getting their farms in the cores, playing it safe with Lifestealer as well
under attack.
makes a lot of sense here. Lifestealer is currently inside of Earth Spirit. With that said, so looking for an opportunity to jump somebody perhaps at the top lane, but again, on the other side, ProDotA, they're also evading, like it's perhaps a Scaradation, and get more farm on the Invoker as Juggernaut. So both sides are pretty content, it seems like, simply getting farms on their cores.
Yeah, it's kind of the race to that 3-item mark. Once Jug hits his Manta Diffusal, probably going to wait for his Blink 2 unless something comes up. Then they go. Once Lifestealer gets to this Deso, they're kind of ready to fight, roughly. You may want to finish up one more item. The Basher is a good start. But both teams just waiting for that go button, kind of trying to get to where they feel comfortable with their power spike. And look how deep 3-3 is here.
Oh, he's over here, I assume, but he's obviously has the teammates coming in. He's just waiting patiently to see if somebody shows.
Yeah, he's throwing napalms down in the trees around him to make sure no one else is sitting there with him. And this is so tense.
Breakout soon, you figure Night Stalker, I mean, obviously it's nighttime, so I'm pretty comfortable about going in, but Outrider, he's going to find a target.
Oh, that's a grab.
A big grab thing into the double point of Chaotic Offering. Sunstrike will finish that job, and it's still not over just yet. Crystal Maiden gets picked off. In return, Alacrity applied to the Juggernaut right here. That one's going to go down. That Magnetite did a lot of work. Here comes the Omni Slash, though, with the burn from the Meteor. What a combo right there. Lifestealer will end up falling. Every Spirit gets picked off, and what seemed like Empire ahead in the fight, all of a sudden the combo of Invoker and Juggernaut comes through. And they melt the
Kaiser saved that fight so hard there. Did so much damage to 4 people on Empire and just thrashed the Lifestealer. I mean, that was amazing.
Radiant's top tower.
That fight looked very, very bad for Empire to start off. The Warlock didn't get Chaotic Offering down. Omni wasn't committed for it. Like, no huge ults other than Batrider last, so we're committed for that. And then the Ember just came out with a ton of burst damage. Hit a Maelstrom proc and a full... I mean, he all-in on the Fire Remnants. He said, we're in on this fight through all 3 and just went.
The Meteor of Invoker, I feel like we never really get to see it do a lot of damage because obviously the idea that you just run away from it and it really doesn't do much to you, but that's all right there. If they're caught up in the Meteor radius, and in that case they work for a fair amount of it, I mean the burn damage is so much.
Yeah, the key to it lies in Deafening Blast. Deafening Blast pushes you back, and there's a flat duration you're getting knocked back from it. So if you're caught in the Deafening and he had already cast a Meteor where it's going, then you're kind of just stuck in about half the Meteor duration. And that's where all that damage came from. If if he can Meteor first and then Deafening Blast into like 3, it's devastating.
Guys are coming through big time and continuing to do throughout this game, so that Invoker pick definitely paying off dividends. And Invoker, he's almost level 18 as well, so you got BK. I don't know why it's so much on Invoker. But...
Yeah, man, he's gonna get that level 3 ult. You used to have to level Invoke. That was a thing at one point.
Juggernaut, he's almost level 18, and that will actually be enough.
Oh yeah, that'll be huge.
He almost has a blink now to go with the nice damage synergy here for the Diffusal and the Manta style.
Yeah, Chappie got a lot of that too. The Bashers picked up on basically par with the blinks, so both cores staying very close in net worth, within 1,000 gold of each other. And it's going to be a slugfest. Whatever team gets, I don't want to say the better initiation, because we saw how last fight goes when one team gets a good initiation, but the cleaner team fight is going to end up taking these. And it all comes down to either like a 3-man rock or a 3-man deafening like we saw last fight. These team fights are going to be crazy.
Yeah, it's for me, it simply is just that chaotic off rate. If he's able to get that off, then yeah, Empire should ideally be pending it's a decent placement.
So Empire has a great timing window. 3 minutes till night. Your Night Stalker just finishes Zag. 3 minutes should be enough to get 900 gold. You get your gem, and then you spend the next night just sweeping for wards. You're going to go smoke. You're going to go run around the map as 5 in a big circle and just see what you see. And if you find a good fight, you take it. So I want to see them not take a fight until that nighttime does roll around and that gem is online.
Jungle right here. Axe just finished on Night Stalker, so the item pickup for Empire. Vision. Again. Trying to get the Ember with the lasso. The follow-up. Carter jumps in. He kind of pulled him away a little bit, but it won't matter. The Sunstrike easily lands, keeps him in place, gets that kill.
They're still going.
Jumped in the back line. They are still going indeed. They got the chaotic offering this time. It does land pretty well. The Magnetized Omni-Slash bouncing around. They'll get the kill on her. Spirit takes out Warlock. The chaotic offering now trying to run down Carter. He lost the team in Invoker and the Spirit Breaker, but he's going to be able to Blink Dagger actually way before they chase him down. But numbers is in favor of ProDotA.
Yeah, so the fight itself was a 2 for 2, but you did have to commit chaotic offering for it, which is a huge cooldown. But they want CM. This is gonna make it an even fight at least.
Oh, if they can get her. Or staff.
Night Stalker's gonna go zoom.
Oh, Carter's going back in. He has the healing ward down, and all of a sudden Chappie, the one needs to be careful here. Night Stalker is going to be frozen in place, locked down by that Crystal Maiden, just kind of toying with him. Chappie is going to be cut down by Carter in the long run. So the choice to commit for the kill on a Crystal Maiden ends up fighting him in this butt big time. And not going to be a Roshan kill, but obviously a victory for ProDotA at the end of the fight.
Radiant's middle tower is
So
under attack.
either that was the fastest Manta to Manta off Crippling Fear that I've ever seen, or Night Stalker just didn't cast it. Yeah, I want to say it was a Manta off. That would be my guess, because the Manta was on cooldown right as the point that started. But it is going to be a Rosh. Healing Ward is going to heal Garter back up entirely, make this Rosh perfectly clean. I think they're giving it to Invoker, judging by the item slots here. I think that's a fine choice. He's doing so much work for you in this game right now.
Never refuse gold given.
And Invoker took the bonus Forge Spirit. Something we see very, very few Invokers do anymore.
Is under attack.
Yeah, you should go the experience.
Usually. Right when the patch came out, everyone said, well, you have to have 2 Forge Spirits to play Invoker. And then everyone kind of realized by the time 15 rolls around, 2 Forge Spirits isn't as big of a deal as it used to be. The whole point was you'd rush to 2 Forge Spirits, you'd Cold Snap with 2 Forges, and then just Sunstrike for kills. But in reality, hitting level 25 has become so crucial, especially on Invoker, because this 25 talents are nuts.
Radiant's top tower is
But
under
yeah,
attack.
he must just still want to play the more comfortable classic Invoker, what he's used to here. Maybe feeling like an extra Forge Spirit might make Chaotic or Fatal Bonds a little less effective. Adding another kind of junk unit in the team fight.
The 2 right here going to send them out, push out the bottom lane, but a wraparound from Empire. Soccer does have that gem now as well, so Vision, as expected, is somewhat lacking here on ProDotA. Do have way up here in the dire jungle, but other than that, dark on the map.
Yeah, and if they didn't want to use Chaotic Offering right now, they would probably be sweeping the rest of their map. But they know they want to take this fight. The Sun S is showing so much vision here. Ember again.
But Invoker's going to be jumping the backlash. Could they kill him quickly? It looks like it. The Aegis is going to be popped. Chaotic Offering to lock in as well. Juggernaut's drop below. He does not have an Aegis. He is going to end up falling. No buyback to be had. Invoker pops the BKB as he comes back up. Tornado's not going to connect the Life Stealer. This is a fight victory so far for Empire. Will it stay that way is the question. Goes to walk away from Invoker. Boulder Smash. Connects on the Crystal Maiden. And here going to follow up on him in the backline. Stigar going to deal with a Bat Rider. Puts a Shadow Word on him, preventing him from actually using the Blink, if anything. And he's going to fly away back to base. So a double kill for Chappie and a 3-0 in favor. Hell, 4-0 if you have the Aegis.
Yeah, this is how I want to see Warlock played. I mean, you're using someone as bait, whether he's FN's meaning to or not, and then you're just dropping the rock on top of everyone when they're going on them. The rock barely saved FN there, able to get a slight into an ult out.
And they say Bat Rider, aim for you again, and take you out of the end. So he goes down 2, and now it's just Invoker. Juggernaut set up for another 20 seconds. Just get a shift of momentum here for Empire all of a sudden. That's why I said, you know, it's going to take a Warlock really ultimate and turn up the battle.
Yeah, that was insane.
Push back, but the rage is popped. Absolutely not going to care about the word right there. Spirit Breaker trying to hold from getting the melee rack, but have to be careful with that. Chappie is getting low though. He doesn't have an Aegis. Going to be able to armlet toggle though. Should survive through it in the end.
Yeah, can he toggle the urn charge though?
Oh, good point.
Okay, he does.
Oh,
wow.
Out it is. Rage, toggle, jump. Let's get it.
Very, very well played from him there. They would have been okay losing Lifestealer if they had to there. That's a very early melee racks given the pace that games have been going lately. And probably would have been fine if Lifestealer did end up dying. But able to keep him alive, and that's a huge, huge pickup for Empire.
December Spirit now even has a Lincoln Spear, so they've been jumping them instead, whether it's been intended or not. It's going to be a lot tougher now for the Bat Rider. He does have a Force Staff.
Yeah, I was going to point that out. That's a lot more brawly build on FN than we see on a lot of Embers. Mostly go bots into Blink, and then maybe double back for a Maelstrom into some more other damagey item. He just said, screw the Blink. I don't want the repositioning. I just want to fight.
Set up here for ProDotA. Wait for a chance, perhaps somebody to come in the middle lane. Crystal Maiden. Me totally well.
And Empire won that fight when PD had the Aegis. Like, that can't be understated. They burned through Invoker twice.
Well, they didn't kill him a second time.
Who did they kill in the base? Oh, it was Bat Rider that got caught in base. Okay.
They just got the Aegis initially. Still, yeah, no, dominated that fight. Take out the melee racks in the end here, so it's... In fact, the graph, yeah, just checking it out. You can see the swing all of a sudden. It was the biggest lead so far for ProDotA. Good, maybe 5 minutes ago or so, and into Empire's favor now.
It's like the Price is Right when they're playing the Mountain Climber game, and then he just falls off the end and just.
I think people tuning in are gonna get that reference.
Now you're gonna make me feel old. That show's still on. I think that game is still on.
It's still on.
In fact, it's 10 o'clock. It's on right now. Price is Right.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Anyway.
Like that?
I know, right? I mean, it's summer. This is when the kids start watching TV, and it's soap operas or Price is Right at this time frame. So.
Yeah, totally. Twitch is
anyway. I know, right? All right. So Darkness is popped. I think this is mostly award sweeping Darkness. They've got Night coming up here anyway. So just want to get total control of this map, and this is the point Empire can start squeezing PD out. This is why you get Gem on Night Stalker. If there's no vision on PD, the only way they're supposed to be able to get out of base is with the smoke. And so you just restrict them out, you farm until this lead is 10, 20k. Pick and poke and prod until you hit a 5-man rock. And in a perfect world, it's a pretty straightforward closeout from here.
What? Perfect world?
Not at all.
Can arise, and ProDotA looking to capitalize on one of those.
Wow, that's so brave.
YOLO, big time man mode. He's gonna Omni Slash all the way through. He's been on top. Sunstrike's gonna miss, but he will get the kill on a Warlock, and the last one gets the Night Stalker as well. So they're gonna get a couple kills out of this. And that man mode from Charger.
How out of Omni Slashing into 5 heroes do you kill the Warlock? What the hell was that? I mean, Lifestealer got way too scared there. He jumped him in Poshko and he's still at 90% health. Like, eat some Omni hits, dude. You have 3,000 health. But that's really unfortunate for Empire here. There's no buyback on the Warlock. It's only 20 seconds, but that's a tier 2 and 2 kills.
Middle tower has fallen.
Possibly second tier tower. Yeah, they're not gonna
No, there's no creep wave. But you'll get the jungle out of it too. That's an extra 300-400 gold.
Closer now to the eye of Scotty here for Juggernaut. Well, you got a Poker. He finishes Shiva's. She has the Ocarina Core now. Top it all up. So, yeah, it does allow for these necro items to be picked up as a result of all this.
Garter definitely wins the biggest balls award of this game because, I mean, that was borderline insane. If the Omni Slash had stuck to Earth Spirit while Earth Spirit rolled, then Garter could have been like pinned up in like the shrine or something for the Dire side, just all on his own with no help. That was insanely brave, and it paid off huge.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Obviously, as we saw it, ended up working out. But no, I'm with you that could have just as easily gone the other way. We could have been sitting here like scratching the head, going, "What was he thinking?" Going in some YOLO, but. It pays off and kind of closes the gap. In fact, it makes it nearly even once again, at least according to the net worth charted. But they still have the lead on the Empire side in the sense of the Barrack skill at the bottom.
Yeah, and so right now they kind of have an idea what they want to do here. They want to push out bottom lane, get the pressure on the bot lane, and then start getting Roche vision again. Make sure no new wards were set up by PD, get one up of your own, and just kind of prep for this next Roshan. They know it's going to potentially spawn within the next 10 seconds.
Lane is going to barely get out.
Ah, he's fine. Calculated or something.
For staff, go with it.
Wait, what? A Spirit Breaker just pinged a gem. Where is it?
We have it on the team?
So confused. Like, look, his last ping was Gem of True Sight dropped here. I don't see it on the courier. I don't see it on the base. I have no idea where that was.
Yeah, I don't know. Scouting through, but I don't really see it. But we do see Roshan's up. Well, just yet, there's no vision, obviously, from ProDotA. Stalker in that. They had that gem.
Yeah.
Right, so yeah, he does. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, Night Stalker's still. Yeah, his is gone right now. So I don't know where it is. I have no clue. Because he ended up dying up in like that bounty rune area that Warlock described the bounty. But yeah, gems lost to the ages.
Invisibility.
So confusing. That like my OCD is trying to make me find this.
Oh, there's the Spear Breaker. Oh, he actually...
Weird.
He's going to go with another strike on the high skiller right there. Got a offering his foot down, but Spear Breaker is going to get caught out. Now we see Bat Rider. He buys back and actually looking to pour back in. Got Gothic. Trying to run away. The Sunstrike's not going to connect right there. The illusions, actually, of Juggernaut. Oh, I had the vision.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under attack.
Ah, okay.
I was so... Yeah, I had it set to the vision of Empire there because I was trying to look for stuff. I was wondering why it looked so funky.
Well, and did you see the movement on Bat Rider there? I guess if you're on Empire's vision, yeah, you should have with Gothic. Like, he got double force staffed. He got forced deeper in by one of the Empire guys and forced himself back, and it ended up being this weird triangle shape where he ended up in the Roche pit, just dead to rights.
That's the plan, and that's going to be a Roshan kill now for Empire, and our biggest lead. Well, Empire will gain their biggest lead now in this game. What's happened there, and picking up the Aegis to top it all off, and FN.
Yep.
5,000.
Might as well put it on the guy that's been bait all game.
Radiant's middle tower
That's
is
something
under
big
attack.
too. The Abyssal Blade obviously on life there is huge. Another gem
Shiva.
purchase. This one for...
Yeah, he's gonna pass it right over down to NS. Oh, the gem's sitting just outside of their fountain. Okay, I found it. It's now on Bat Rider. But yeah, they had it sitting like... You can't put gems in your base anymore. Like, in your fountain. So he had it just above the wall of the fountain.
Whoa.
Oh, Empire's Team House internet just cut out, looks like.
Somebody's landing.
It's a disaster.
Everyone but Embers.
I guess we need pause.
Team gone.
That's great. Oh. Oh, I wonder where FN is that he's not playing with the team. Or maybe like all four of them are on one power strip and someone kicked it. I've definitely actually seen that happen in a game before.
Oh yeah. Man of sorts.
I think it was one of Envy's games. Like maybe when he's on secret, like all but one person dropped, and it was like when Pilot Eye was on it, he's like, oops, Envy kicked the power cord or something. But looks like they are coming back already. Good stuff, good stuff. Alright, what does PD need to do to get back in this game? It's gonna take... Oh, man. It's gonna take somebody stopping Warlock from Chaotic Offering while at the same time lassoing Lifestealer. And that's a really tall order. Spirit Breaker, if he had the BKB done, would be a potential person to do it, because if the BKB's done, the only stop to his charge is Chaotic Offering. Or an Abyssal as he runs by, but that's insanely hard to do. So if the BKB was done, I'd say that's a viable strategy for him. You find the Warlock, you just straight dive Nether Strike the Warlock, and then have everyone else just all in on Lifestealer, because he doesn't have the Aegis, he's most of their damage. But it's really hard unless this BKB gets done. I mean, I would even consider selling like the Urn and the Oov to try to do this if Empire tries to force the fight.
Call it
Orb of Venom, it's an Oov. You never heard that before?
Oov.
Have you never heard that before?
I mean, people type it out, but
Yeah.
it doesn't ring like
Middle tower
BKB.
has fallen.
Really, that sounds really awkward. Then again, no one says Black King Bar either.
Figuring out how you get that top lane. Our resume good to go once again. And that BKB, speaking of that again, as you mentioned, Spear Breaker and farming it up here at the bottom lane.
Yeah, I want to give him farm priority here. This is the most important item on the team. No one else is super close to anything. Buyback on the Spirit Breaker is, I mean, sure it's important, but everyone else already has it. You're kind of alright all-inning if you have to. This Jugs are like 200 short of buyback, but... Yeah, this is gonna be the team fight. Empire is gonna look to push into the base here. They've swept the top side shrine already, so the tier 2 is gonna fall uncontested. And yeah, PD is just like, we gotta get this going. We need a little more farm before we take this fight. Jug wants his buyback, and Spirit Breaker wants the BKB.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Clearing out lanes here, both at the top and the middle lane. On the bottom's taken care of with the Rax kill.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And this is one of
way back.
the benefits of the double forges. You can push out lanes a lot harder when you have two of them. So helping to offset some of that difference in the bot lane there. And Milan is close. He needs like 500 gold.
Really farming up the bottom
Whoa,
right there.
Ember.
Trying to make a play right here. Pops that Shivas. Is going to find the Crystal Maiden. Needs the Spirit Breaker. Doesn't look like it. Spirit Breaker's going to port out. So Crystal Maiden is at the second Crystal Maiden outside. Oh, up here. Wow, that was somebody else.
Yeah, Bat barely got out.
Minimal casualties though.
It sucks to lose CM, but your lanes aren't in the worst positions. It's going to take too long for Empire to push in and get there in time to capitalize on that CM pick. And Spirit Breaker getting out there was massive. If they'd pick Spirit Breaker, the base is wide open. If you have to commit buyback on the Spirit Breaker, I think you just call the game almost over at this point. But he has no items yet. And he's finding it more and more difficult to get a good charge off between Boulder Smash and Searing Chains and every Night Stalker skill. His life's just hard. Maposhka's on the high ground. Rolled onto the high ground there.
Is under attack.
So
Dire's
basically,
top tower has fallen.
see a Spirit Breaker run on by, but
And Milan doesn't want to go either. He's 100 gold, man. 100 gold. This is like when a Bat Rider dies with like 2050 gold or something.
darkness being used right here from the Night Stalker. Joker, he pushed out right there. He pops BKB, but the evil split's done. And he could end up falling. Chaotic offering to follow it up. And Kaiser is going to get picked off. No buyback. What
He bought his sheep.
Thinking?
He had like 5k and had an Octarine queued up, and I thought he was just going to buy the soul booster or something. Ends up committing to a full sheep stick, and yeah, no buyback. What's left on the Aegis? Another 1, 2, so another like 50 seconds.
They just didn't have vision, but that's even more reason to just not push out like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he maybe felt safe with the BKB, but obviously he wasn't. Abyssal Blade and the Chaotic Offering.
Yeah, Empire did commit like everything for it. May not feel super comfortable taking a fight without Chaotic Offering though. Ooh, they don't care though. They're ready to go.
With Invoker dead, you have to capitalize on it. They're going to try to right here. The pushback. Oh, okay.
I think Bat. No? Bat Force. CM Force.
Stealer, they pull back with the last one. He is actually dropping pretty quick. And that freezing build doing a lot of damage. And Life Stealer's going to get picked off, so maybe they should have been scared to push into this indeed. And the rest are going to try to run away in the Pushka. He's probably going to end up falling here.
Aegis is down on FN. Just ticked out.
Yeah, that Aegis just got reclaimed as herd. Pull back. So, well, okay, you were right actually. Empire should have maybe been a little scared.
Yeah, it was just a tad too aggressive. You had tempo. The Aegis was not at a good timing. Like if they had gone on FN too, he could have died instead of the Lifestealer, depending on who went in first there. So just a little too aggressive from Empire. Just gotta calm down. And I think that'll be the wake-up call for King R to not use ult on a solo target. Just let the Invoker get out. He blew BKB. You blew almost nothing. And kind of go on with your life.
Picking up more farm even. Finish that butterfly. Bit now, and yeah, pretty key item actually. MKB, nade, or...
No, but Bloodthorn is the queued up item on Lifestealer, and that will work. So they just got to get to that point. And this is what I love to see, when both teams are getting enough farm that they can play the counter game, where one person gets an item, and if the other person has enough gold, they can instantly buy the counter item. It gets to be a fun back and forth.
Game 1, guys, of our best of 3. Our first of 2 best of 3s coming at you. ProDotA Empire here. The winner of this will qualify for the playoff stage. Being qualifiers, so been a back and forth game of sorts. Empire has had the lead as of lately, but as you kind of see, it's again dipping back. Or it's even, and it continues to be a case of this still is anyone's game. And the bottom racks was taken out a good 10-15. The recovery. In fact, what did Invoker? Okay, it's actually not level 20. I assume he's gonna get the tornado cooldown. That kind of seems like the more go-to late. And we deafening blast.
Yeah, it kind of depends on what you need him for. He didn't go blink, so I agree. It's going to be tornado cooldown almost 100%. This wouldn't be a bad game at all to go AoE deafening if he was used to playing the blink build though. You can just blink it in the middle of the team fight and pop it. Put Lifestealer on one side and everyone else on the other. But they're not using him for an initiation. They're using him as like a backline damage source. So he's definitely going to take the tornado CD, and that'll be a big help for him. Ghostic wants to hunt though.
Satisfied with some neutral creeps instead for now.
Octarine Night Stalker. Huh. It's gonna make it literally permanent. There will be like 10 seconds of daytime between every ult cooldown. I won't even have to worry about the day-night cycle.
A nice reason to get it then.
Yeah, it could be a sheep stake. Could be an abyssal blade. I mean, it's fine. I think. Wow. Okay. Milan charging deep here.
He is going really deep, but not going to commit to it, and that's probably the safer. Hey.
Yeah, and Empire saw it. It was within Ghost's range.
Return. They're going to find the Spear Breaker actually barrel roll in. There's the best bomb on top. He's going to pop out at least a dead Spear Breaker. Be more. He does have a buyback. double damage up here, and they're gonna spot it. Yeah, they definitely know it's here. Oh,
And it's gone.
Spirit destroys it. Well played there by Invoker.
Yeah, he's been very good about keeping a forge in the pit the entire time.
Roshan not up just yet. Gonna spawn in just over a minute here. Like Empire, that's exactly what they're gonna wait for. Not really able to capitalize too much off of the Spirit Breaker kill. Very close now to that pickup here of Life Stealer.
Yeah, it's gonna... So expensive though. The most expensive item in Dota. With one of the biggest returns. I mean, that silence is insane. If you can't break that, you just die.
Oh. Oh. Okay.
Switch to an MKB instead.
One MKB.
Switch to a no buyback MKB. So a little bit of danger. The nice luxury part for Empire here is they have no reason they have to ever go. They're not being pressured, there's no aggression coming out from PD, and so they feel pretty safe just to grab that in case a fight does kind of break out, but Lifestealer can still just keep farming until he gets to the buyback point. Yeah, he already is there. He sold the Midas on the courier.
That good to go, so yeah.
Milan, another brave charge. This time on a solo Earth Spirit. I mean, there's Ghost Stick's gonna be close by, but not right on top. This is what a Night Stalker does to you, though. Look how constricted PD feels. They literally can't see anything past their creep waves. Roche is up. This will be the cheese. So no more Chappie going in. I would imagine you give it to Chappie at this point.
Not over just yet as far as Vision goes. Again, it continues to be not really much for ProDotA. They do have that Force Spirit out there. Job of that. Earth Spirit has the Infest Bomb inside him. I think they're going to commit to a Oshan killing us. I want to find at least a kill and almost before they go for it. They're going to see it now. Sunstrike to scout it out, but the Force Spirit no longer in here, so the Vision is now blank. Kind of just playing the guessing game, but it is happening now.
Yeah, it should be gone before ProDotA even gets there.
Fairly quicker kill. Emperor got it last time.
Yep. Did they get the charge off of it? Okay. It's actually kind of hard to get a charge off on a Sunstrike. The vision doesn't last very long. But yeah, Milan doesn't want to commit. You notice how low the Roche was. He's out of that one. Will be Chappie grabbing the Aegis. And she's sitting on him as well, but that'll get passed over.
Go. And the Ocarina again, finish on Night Stalker. He pops the Darkness, as you said. It's a 10-second window now. So Day and back to Night Stalker. Lifestealer level 25. Toast get that 15 armor right here. Ember Spirit. Reduction. On the other side, Juggernaut, 20
Radiant's
agility,
middle tower
and then
is under
Invoker,
attack.
he's stopped. God, I figured he'd be the one level 24. Have that 25
Yeah.
like the others.
He's just been stuck in his base. It makes it really hard.
Radiant's top
Chappie,
tower is under
that
attack.
Aegis. Tower a little bit, but they're not going to overcommit. Down for another creep here. So they're going to do this the slow way here. Patient with it. See the Lotus Orbs and the Lincoln Sphere being applied to him constantly. It's very protected, and that with the Ray. And the owner. God, this guy's buffed up, man.
Literally, like every creep wave, I'm just hitting F2 and flipping back to just Radiant Vision. It just looks so terrifying. You don't see anyone. All you see is Chappie with just a ton of buffs on him.
Chappie's gonna jump inside. Out come the chaotic offer, and they will lock down Juggernaut long enough for the almost like where he barely gets scammed. The time's on him. He will stay alive in the long run. The Shivas goes off. A Lotus Orb on the life, so they'll jump protecting him quite a bit. The Lincoln just got blocked by something. Milan going in. The lasso on top of that. This could be a chance to kill the life. Looking at the Aegis. They're dragging him pretty deep, though. The Meteor to cut off, supporting Cassie on his left on top. And Chappie is gonna end up going down. He passes the creep wave at the last second, but the side used on him and will secure the kill. So far, that is the only death.
How do they kill him again?
Here's the response. Pochka jumps in, magnetizes applied. The spin on top, but they lose one Spirit Breaker. He flies back immediately. Lifesteal, though, he's standing his ground. And Jabba goes right back for the racks right here. It's an epic fight that finishes things off potentially right here. As the man, the racks will fall, but there's a lockdown on Juggernaut. He's going to go down. He'll probably fly back pretty quickly, as he does right there. Milan, though, he's going to stay there this time. And that was a dieback for him. The range racks now. It's going to be falling. Empire, everyone stays alive. And they get the rack as they came for. Carter decides to go back, and that's going to be a dieback if he does die here. So, just be careful, and they will finally retreat.
Yeah, they just had to use way too much to bring down Chappie the first time. You committed Omni Slash, you committed Hex. It was just all of your resources, so once Chappie res, they just didn't have anything left.
Radiant's middle tower.
Fine. I mean, only 3 deaths in total. Or I guess technically 4 deaths.
Radiant's middle
Spirit
tower
Breaker,
has
but
fallen.
in the end, the objective's taken, of course, by Empire. Now this lead, as you talk about throughout this game, it's still anyone's game, not so much anymore. This is Empire, and they're going to need some mistakes if they want to not win this game. That is, and I don't think that's going to be happening right now.
Oh no, you lassoed the Lincolns.
That's tough. I mean, it's such a dire spot. You did a good job of getting it off initially last time, man. This time, last of the Lincoln, unfortunately. They're going to catch him with a Scythe here, however, and he will stay dead now. So they do have enough damage ultimate against the kill. Crystal Mantis picked up with the backlines. Warlock, he's going to end up falling too. So here's the chase out now. Coming out from ProDotA. FM, TP's away. Of course, has a buyback worst case here. But...
Yeah, PD has to force it here. The problem is their lanes are in such bad positions, you probably have to buy back CM just to hold your base.
It is a level 25 Invoker now, by the way, and he did choose to get Needle. Now to benefit from is, what is that
Radiant's
about?
middle tower is under
Going with
attack.
him a little bit. Background, he has bots level 2 now.
Yeah, and a ton of CDR.
Radiant's middle tower
It's
is
very
fallen.
frequently. 3.6 seconds.
Radiant's middle barracks are under
Yeah, he
attack.
took 20% CDR talents as well as the Octave, and Lifestealer's talent tree was 719. Ooh, Milan, BKBing out. No, Lifestealer just took all the right side talents.
It's so smooth. Go to the right. Yeah, that's kind of interesting because you look at the earlier ones, that's definitely a lot more for survivability. In fact, all throughout basically.
Definitely took the more defensive ones. The 15 armor is a little interesting. It definitely helps in the man fight against Jug, but the rage duration is super good against Invoker. So must have found what he thought was the real threat and went that route. And Warlock got to a refresher orb, like the welfare hard 5 Warlock. Now has a massive item that he then decided to sell right away. Yeah, okay. He wants an Ags instead.
Flesh sustains, gold remains.
Yeah, that's actually kind of interesting because it's like, do you want a second stun basically, or do you just want the second Warlock in the fight for the gold meat?
I want a second stun.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because it lets you get the kill like they did on Invoker and still have one for the team fight. But then again, they could, you know, buy whatever they want. Spend your gold. Doesn't really matter.
It's not like there's a wrong choice there.
It's a 30,000 net worth lead.
Well, here comes the last stand, you could say, for ProDotA. No buyback on Juggernaut for another 3 minutes. There's a jump right off the bat, locking down the Juggernaut. He is going to get silenced, but he'll be fine. The double golems that were out due to the X. They got it Poker bursted down, but buys back immediately, so now he's in the case of no buyback.
Yeah, and if Empire wants to keep showing your strength, this is where you back up and wait for Rock again. You got the buyback. It was nice, but we saw what can happen if they take a fight without Rock.
2 now.
There are 2. This is true. And they're big. Look how like tall those things are.
Anyways, the charge in, I heard it going up from below right there. Carter's trying to kill him. He got a gun free. Meanwhile, Spirit Breaker, he's basically being a distraction. He will be down. No buyback can be had in the Still his caught this time by the lasso, pulling back into the base. The freezing kill on top of that is going to be sized out though at the point. And now Chappie standing his ground. Gets to Crystal Maiden. Garda going in it, but the Abyssal Blade stun proc. He uses the Abyssal Blade right there on top of that. And Juggernaut, he's going to stay dead for 120 seconds. Crystal Maiden does come back here, but they lose their core. GG's are calling it poker. He might have get picked up, but total GG before. Now he does go down, but it doesn't matter. Empire wins it, and they're up 1-0.
Wow. I mean, yeah, we had some really long slow points in that game, but really well played from Empire overall. The only big misstep was trying to fight without Rock in the mid lane, but very clean game from them overall. And definitely looking good going into game 2 here.